Hi Libra, it's Lisa from Soul Searcher Tarot to do your April 2019 general reading. If you're new to my channel, thank you so much for giving me a try. And if you've been here before, I really appreciate the support. Thank you. And I've already meditated on your energy, and I'm going to shuffle the cards up and then we'll get started. Hope everybody's doing well. Let's see. In the process of me recording this, at the time I'm recording it, I think the Mercury retrograde is just ending. So things should be kind of getting a little bit back to normal. I don't know if everybody's felt that, but I know I have. So hopefully everything will get back to normal for us. For now, it comes back again. All right. Okay, let's cut the deck and we'll get started. Okay. And your first card to begin with, through the month of April, you have the Two of Swords. Can you see that? The Two of Swords, this is making a decision. You have to decide with her she's standing there, she's really still, and she's got the blindfold on. She doesn't want to make a decision that she has to make. That's going to have to be made. So it's either, the better of two evils, or a rock and a hard place type of decisions. She doesn't want to, but you might be just having a difficult time making this decision. All right, now we have the Knight of Cups, and he's in the reverse. Now he's very emotionally immature. He's insecure and he's disappointed, and so maybe there was maybe you had a love affair, or a partner that things didn't work out with, so maybe you're just disappointed about it. And maybe that has what's to do with these Two of Swords. Okay, now you have the Three of Wands, and that came up in reverse also. And this would be possibly all right, you're feeling some obstacles and delays, and you're frustrated about something. So again, with the decision that you have to make, and this, insecurity and not feeling good about your emotions and the situation that you were in, yeah, I guess you would be kind of frustrated. All right, let's see what else we can find out. Okay, well, you have the Eight of Pentacles, and you're working really hard at something. So it could be in work, it could be learning new skills, or maybe taking a class, or trying to perfect what you know. But I guess it could be kind of like an emotional or a communication thing with your partner, your past partner, or maybe you're looking for a new partner. But that's usually like a skills and trade kind of communication. All right, but we have the Page of Cups, and he's like a happy surprise dreamer. Okay, so maybe he's feeling like, all right, well, this one didn't last, but maybe there's something else out there for me. So he's got a lot of emotions, and he's dreaming, and he's happy, and he's like, all right, well, I think this can happen for me. So maybe after you worked really hard at something, you were able to close your mind out to it and move on to the possibilities of a new emotional beginning, okay? And then you have the Empress, and she's all about nurturing and fertility and relationships. So she will be the energy that you'll take on to make your relationships and communication with them, and nurturing this new Page of Cups energy. All right, so you might be looking forward to getting into a new relationship. And then we have Death, and Death is it's an end to a cycle, or it's an end to something. You want to change. All right, it's a metamorphosis. It's like going through and finding what wasn't working. You feel like you need to change something that will work for you. So your metamorphosis. It's a metamorphosis, but I'm trying to figure out how to say that in an action word. But you're making a change, okay? All right, now you had the Eight of Cups, and the Eight of Cups came up in the reverse. So the way I'm thinking about it is, you don't want to move on, You're trying to kind of like maintain where you are and what you're doing, but you're confused about it. You're fearing a loss of something. So you're not trying to move on because you got a fear of the unknown. So maybe even though you got this Page of Cups and this Empress energy trying to push you into like a more relationship bound form of thinking, you're not feeling comfortable with it. Maybe you haven't been single for a long time. Maybe you were kind of like happy with what was, maybe being single or just having that partner that you always knew, and you don't really want to change that because it's almost like having to break out your new toys when you're a kid and like, oh, I don't know what this is going to do for me. So maybe you're afraid of that. You're afraid of like trying to find somebody else because you haven't been on the dating scene for a very long time. All right, then we have the Seven of Swords. Now it came up in reverse. So the Seven of Swords in the reverse is a guy turning over the new leaf. He's not trying to be the old way he used to be, maybe what actually caused the problem in his relationship in the past. So maybe he's trying to be a little bit different. Let's see. So you got this guy who's saying, okay, well, you're going to change and you're metamorphosizing, you're turning into something else. But then this one's saying you don't want to walk away, you're afraid of any change. And this guy is trying to say, okay, we're going to flip our leaf over, right? Change the new leaf, we're going to like try something else. So maybe that is the Two of Swords problem that you're having. You can't decide which way you want to go. If you want to just stay how you are and find somebody who's good with that, or if you want to go a whole different route. Oops. All right, now you had the Nine of Swords, and this is in reverse, and this would be, you're over something. Something was keeping you up, and now you're pretty much, you're fearing something, but you're over something. So you have lack of an objectivity, like you're not being objective about something. You're kind of like getting out of the hurt position, and you're not being kept up at night about it, but you're actually lacking objectivity to look at it for what it really was. So maybe you're having these memories about what that relationship was, and then realizing that you didn't realize that it really wasn't the best thing for you, and so you're lacking objectivity to it. And maybe you got to like shed those memories. Then you got the Ten of Swords right after that. So I'm thinking somewhere along the line, maybe you have come to the conclusion of it. So maybe you actually haven't mourned this relationship. Maybe you haven't put it aside in your head. Okay, yeah, I got hurt, and I'm not really wanting to get hurt now. So maybe at this point, you said, oh, ouch, okay, that did hurt. Why am I going over this, and I'm not being objective about it. I'm not seeing how good it wasn't. So maybe you finally did. So it took a while, but it finally happened for you. And you're like, okay, so now what? So let's see what else we can get for this. All right, and the Two of Cups came out, and this is an imbalance in unity. Something's one-sided. It's not fulfilling you the way it should. And that's what I think this Ten of Cups was telling you. Okay, that hurt. It's over. So maybe you finally came to that. You came to the decision that, maybe it was over. So let's see what else I can find out about this. What else can you tell me about Libra, April 2019? Libra, April 2019. All right, you got the moon. And this is things being like illusions and not clear. So we're going to have to see if we can find the clarity for that. So I'm going to put this right here between the Two of Cups and the Ten of Swords. I think you had your illusions and you're trying to figure out what to make better of that. And this fell out. This is This is Six of Wands, and this is moving on. So I think after you got the Ten of Cups and you finally realized, oh my gosh, it's over. Yeah, it hurt. I got to get out of here. The illusions wept away. You realized that, okay, that didn't work. Our unity's over. This became like a very bad situation. So now you're moving on. You're moving on away from this. All right, what else can we find out for Libra? 2019 April. 2019 April. What can I find out for Libra? All right, let's see. All right, hey, okay. And this is Judgment, and this is, you're reaping what you sowed. So, okay, you got hurt, and, things weren't looking as good as you wanted them to be. But I'm thinking that you're saying, okay, well, maybe now I should do that changing that I was thinking about doing. So maybe at this point, this death card comes in and it makes sense. Okay, yeah, I need to change because it wasn't just her or him. It wasn't just my partner. It was both of us. Something happened to me that I can make it better. So something maybe I didn't fulfill their needs either. Okay? And I'm going to do one more for Libra. Now, while I do this, I want you guys to think about it. If you're in a happy relationship, this is not for you, obviously, but maybe something just ended and, you want to find out what would be best. And, this is something that if something just ended and you need to have some clarification of why or how. And, it should definitely give you some insight. So we got the Seven of Wands, and that is you persevering and defending, and you're maintaining control. So I think after all this went on, that you're able to maintain control at the end of it. All right, so you've recovered, and you moved on, and you realize that you got to reap what you sow, so you have to bring it to the table too. You can't just leave it on the other person. And you have the Seven of Wands, and you're maintaining. So, all right, wow, okay. This clears it up. This makes sense to me. Hopefully it makes sense to you. So you had a decision to make. You had the Knight of Cups, and you didn't have the emotions weren't there for you. The Three of Wands, when you got like a little bit stuck on your obstacles and delays. You're working hard at something. It didn't happen for you. The Page of Cups was like, okay, there's a new beginning able to happen. The Empress is telling you, hey, let's nurture this, make this relationship better. But then Death said, no, we're going to have to change. You don't want to change, but you have to change. So then you had the Eight of Cups in the reverse, and you did not want to move on. You were confused, and you had a fear of the unknown, so you didn't know what it was going to be like out there, per se. And then you had the Seven of Swords, and that was turning over a new leaf, and this Nine of Swords, and you realized that you weren't feeling, you were hurt, and you had a lack of objectivity, so you weren't seeing what was going on. Then you got the Ten of Swords, and you realized, yes, you got hurt. The unity was over, and there was illusions with it. And with the Six of Swords, the Judgment card, and this moving on, you realized it was over, but you do have the ability to move on and find happiness somewhere. Okay? Hopefully this resonated with you, and if it did, if you could give me a like, a share, or subscribe. If you want to write me a comment, I'd love to hear from you. And what else? Yeah, again, if it resonates, awesome. If it doesn't, and you are in a happy relationship, this wasn't going to be a love reading, but just I call it as I say it. And this is just for somebody else, all right? So this might not have been with you, and that's all good too, okay? So have an awesome April, and maybe I'll see you guys back in the middle of the month of May, in the middle of the month of April, or back in May. I hope everything works out for you. Have a good day, and take care of yourselves.